Businesses thrive by knowing customer insights because today's insights are tomorrow's facts. At iResearch, we live and breathe insights. And despite searching high and low, we were unable to find a customer insights podcast that answers one of the most important questions in business. Why do customers do what they do? So we launched one. Hi, I'm your host, Darshan Mehta. My guest on this episode is Sanjai George. He is a strategic thinker and a proactive leader who nurtures and builds talent in a cohesive team that is driven by focusing on the customer and very much oriented towards the customer and achieving the goals of the organization. He has quite a bit of experience working at C-level jobs for Manila Foods Tech, I should say, Fathima Group of Companies, as well as Nesto Group in India. Welcome, Sanjai. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Yeah. First of all, namaste to all the AHA viewers. A very warm good evening to you, Darshan. In fact, I hope, we are viewed across globe, but I think Darshan is in Bangkok, so I can very safely say good evening to Darshan and namaste to one and all. So it's a real privilege to be part of this podcast. Thank you to Darshan and team for it.
Thanks a lot. So, one of the first things I like to get involved with my guests is I'd like to know, what are the aha moments that you've encountered to get you to the point that you are now in your career?
Okay, so I have to start by recollecting a question someone asked me some 5-10 years back about whether I've got any aha moments or euphoric moments in retail. In fact, my answer is this, that if you are part of retail and if you are really involved in it, there is no way that you won't get an aha moment. So I had a lot of aha moments, but to crown all those aha moments was the Maha Savings Day that we did with Big Bazaar. When I was working with Big Bazaar, we had this Maha Savings Day. This is loosely planned in line of Black Friday of Walmart. And that is the first biggest event in India. And we have planned a very big promotion. This is way back in 2004, if I'm not wrong. January 26th, the Republic Day was the chosen day. And we had big plans, we had big promotions, we had a lot of, attractive items being promoted. And we did a lot of flyer distributions because those days the TV commercials were not there. So we did a lot of this door-to-door flyer insertions. And what we experienced that day was something that really changed my outlook to the entire retail business. Till that day, I was also of the thinking that retail has got very limited customers and customers will come only when they get their salary, or customers do not come in heaps. But what we have experienced was the mountain. It's like climbing a mountain. It was like a crowd that was so unprecedented, and we have to close down our stores. We have to ask for police support. For the first time in my career, I have said no to customers entering my shop. So that was the aha moment for me, and I understood that anything is possible if you plan it properly, if you really reach your customers, and if you have a communication that reaches the customer and really touches the needs of the customer, then there is nothing that can stop the customer from coming to the store. And after the first event, we have planned it really well. And this Maha Savings Day or Maha Budget Day, as it was called then, has become the flagship event of Big Bazaar. And it continued for so many years. And in fact, from all those priorities that we had when we planned this event, like ensuring proper display, getting proper promotion, a very attractive promotion list, etc., has taken a backseat, and we have focused on how to manage the crowd. So that was definitely the aha moment for me. And obviously, when you get a customer who comes to you and talks to you and tell you that what really impressed him in the store or what really made him unhappy, that was also an aha moment. I mean, so many of us get this aha moment when we are in the floor. And to better understand all this, you have to be spending time in retail in floor. So the floor teaches you so many things. Yeah.
Interesting. So first of all, let me break this down. Big Bazaar is a big retailer in India, correct?
Okay. So I will correct myself. I assume that everyone knows Big Bazaar and all that. Yes.
Not the whole audience doesn't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So Big Bazaar was part of Future Group, had around 100 plus stores. This was a very big retail chain, and the store size is close to 6,500 square meters to 8,000 square meters, and G plus 4 floors. I mean, these are all value retail chains. Food is almost 30% of the retail chain, but it has apparels, general merchandise, and so on. So these are all retail chains that was there across India. Now it is closed, but it has created such an impact in the retail market that the Indian retail can reach bigger heights. That is what Big Bazaar really drove.
And the day that you developed, that's a special savings day, correct? It's a special sales day.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Savings day, Maha Savings Day.
Yeah. And so what do you think led to you being so successful on that day where you actually had to say no and you had to have crowd control?
In 2004, I think Indian retail industry was very much unorganized, in fact. So it was, in fact, there were very few organized players. And as I said, Future Group was one of the first to open big hypermarkets. This shop or the store that I was talking about was a state-of-art store at that time. With 65,000 square feet or 6,500 square meters, G plus ground plus 4 floors. It had escalators, elevators, capsule lift, and so on. So these were new to the Indian market, especially to this place called Visakhapatnam, a town in Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh was not divided in India then. Now it is Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Those days it was a combined Andhra Pradesh. And in this town, Visakhapatnam, this first store was opened. And I'm sure some of you who might be viewing it, and if you are part of this experience, you will definitely relive this experience. So what really made it a big success was nothing but reaching the customer. In fact, we had reached around 15,000 houses. We did this door-to-door campaign, and we reached each and every house, and we had spent a lot of time in explaining to the customers on the offers. See, nowadays it becomes very easy to reach customer. In fact, we have got mobiles, and everyone has got mobiles in India. Those days, mobiles were not so rampant as now. So we have to take this pain of going to each and every household, reaching them. We used the local government authorities, and we got the voters list. So India's got this voters list. So based on the voters list, we send post to each and every house. So basically it is reaching the customer, but it was a laborious work. But we reached the customer, and we made the customer realize that this is once in a lifetime opportunity for them to get these kind of promotions. So communication was the key, according to me.
I'm sure it was communicated. That's what I wanted to talk about next. Is what specifically did you tell them? I don't think you just told them we're opening it. There must be some messaging, because clearly it's not just one thing to open and reach people. It really boils down to what was the messaging that you think really resonated with your audience.
See, in fact, if I have to recollect now, it doesn't look very big. Okay, it looks very simple. But I always believe that retail is very simple. We only complicate retail. So those days, what has happened is when we designed this leaflets or flyers or handouts, so we made it only 6 pages of it so that it doesn't clutter the consumer's mind. So whoever sees this leaflet, in the first page, we have got only 2 products promotions. Those are the loss leaders that we call. Okay, while we used that as a marketing tool to get the customer insight. One was this 3310 mobile phone. It was a Nokia model. And so everyone had this aspiration to buy a mobile. So we have put that in the first page along with the laptop. So those days, getting a laptop at 9,999 was a dream. So we have put that laptop there. Then at the back page, we have put very attractive offers of fruits and vegetables, which are perishable items, which every Indian wants to buy. So these are this is how we have designed the leaflet so that it attracts the customer and in fact motivates the customer to come to the store. Then we have got other offers. But more than anything, it was the word of mouth. In fact, what has happened was when we opened the store at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, Indian Standard Time, 8:30 a.m. Normally the stores open at 10 a.m., but we opened at 8:30 a.m. Between 8:30 to the normal opening time of 10 a.m., we have got almost 100 customers. So those 100 customers who came, who saw the offers, who saw the display, they were actually overwhelmed that we can give so good a promotion and so good a product. So they went and spread this word of mouth. So word of mouth has become the most powerful communication for us. And in fact, a place like Visakhapatnam has got this thing that everyone knows everyone. And so it spread so fast. And when they came, what has happened was it was so crowded and we have to put the shutters and we have to stop the customer. And as the mentality goes, if you're stopped for something, you want to know, really want to see it or you want to get in. So that has in fact motivated more crowd. But what I really want to summarize is that we have to keep things very simple. I mean, in our quest to really attract our customers, we sometimes overdo. Whereas here we kept things very simply, and that was the real reason for the overwhelming success for this promotion. This is my viewpoint. But see, nowadays, if you ask me, now how will I do it? See, if I have to get customers, I mean, like that, I will never do that, because there will be so many dissatisfied customers who are not allowed to get inside the store. So now how we are planning is we are planning it in a very structured way. We are ensuring that a customer who comes inside a retail hypermarket or a supermarket spends enough time and buys really well. It's not about the NOB alone, number of bills alone. It is about the average basket value or the average bill value. If a customer comes to an hypermarket of, let's say, 5,000 square meter to 10,000 square meter, the family has to take that shopping as an entertainment. So you have to provide everything to the family. I mean, you need to really give them chairs to sit if they are feeling tired. And for the kids, you have to give so many impulse things and so on. So now it is a very structured way. You give them enough convenience. Now, the point is you give them convenience, definitely they will come to your stores. Yeah.
So I want to ask you something you mentioned a few times now. You like to keep it simple. How did you come to that realization? Was that an aha moment that you've had that made you realize that simplicity is the best?
See, I started my career with Spencer's. In fact, Spencer's was acquired by RPG, and RPG is a big conglomerate in India. And RPG, along with DFI, has formed this, had this joint venture, and they conceived a brand called Food World. So I was one of the first store managers of this Food World organized supermarket in India. So during that time, see, I was an MBA, I was a fresh MBA, and there were not many MBAs at that time. So when I got this job of store manager, I was in fact thinking very big. In fact, I was always thinking that we need to have the displays as fronting, facing, blocking, FFB. So all those jargons, top tops, bottom bottoms, FIFO, FIFO, etc. So, but then the customer who was coming to my store, this was in a place called Tamil Nadu. Chennai was the city in India. And so the customer who was walking inside the store is a very simpleton. This is a family person who had around 4 to 5 people in his family. and he is earning 5,000 rupees during that time. So that is his income, monthly income. So he is the customer, and he actually gets threatened or intimidated when you really make things complicated. Okay, when you really go and approach him in a language that is not convenient, or with a price that is not comfortable to buy, he really doesn't feel comfortable to come to your shop. So that is when I realized that you have to keep it simple. And the aha moment came by really interacting with these customers. So asking them, what is that you want? Because Food World being a national level chain, they had a same product master for every state. In fact, they didn't add the local assortment. So I was the among the few who told the team at central at our corporate office that we need to have local assortment also. Local assortment is as important as the other assortment, because people come and specifically ask for local assortment. And all this realization happened by interacting with the customer. See, today we do so many things. We capture customer feedbacks. We do one-on-one interviews. We do focus group discussions. But those days, we were able to talk to these customers and were able to take their feedback. And when you act on this feedback, that develops the confidence of the customer. And that is how we were able to understand all these nuances. And we that is how I think I decided that I have to keep retail as simple as possible.
And often striving for simplicity is much more difficult than creating complexity. So my question to you is, are there 3 tips you can share that have helped you and continue to help you to achieve simplicity?
Okay. So one is, I have to articulate my thoughts very clearly. So one is to ensure that my team understands what my thoughts are. I have to keep it as simple as possible. I am not presenting to a boardroom of intellectuals. I'm in fact talking to a team of individuals who have only basic degree as their qualification. I'm talking about the team in the store. So that team members must understand about a concept. So that concept, to make that concept simple, I have to articulate in a language that they understand, and with very clear steps that can be executed, and I have to demonstrate that. So the first thing of simplicity, according to me, is demonstration. Like, what is that you want to do? You have to demonstrate and tell them that. And it has to have very clear, simple steps. For example, there was a concept called Beka Malik. Okay, this is a customized concept that we have developed. So Beka Malik is a concept that ensures that the shelf in a store, hypermarket or a supermarket store, has to be maintained in a way that planogram. Planogram is nothing but how the products are to be placed in a supermarket, hypermarket, and there is a maximum base quantity, there is a minimum quantity, there is spacing. If you are placing a product, let's say you are placing a biscuit packet, so how many pieces have to be in the front? What is the depth? How many pieces have to be at the back? Then how the manufacturing dates of the product has to be arranged, and so on. So whether the color comes into play or brand comes into play, and there are so many things. So when you talk about this in the real sense, it will look very, very complicated. So Beka Malik was a concept that we developed to simplify this overall thing. So when you demonstrated with a concept that made things easy for the team to understand, then it is a sure shot success. That is the first thing. Second one is a clear RACA matrix, according to me. That is key for simplicity. What I mean by RACA matrix is responsibility, accountability, consultation, and information. So you need to define responsibility clearly. So when everyone in the team, or even for a consumer also, you make things very clear with a clear, simple communication, it becomes very easy for you to take it forward. And all these improvisations happen based on this simplicity, because everyone has understood. So RACA matrix is very, very important. And whatever, whether it is a concept, whether it is a product launch, whether it is a promotion, you need to have this clear RACA matrix so everyone understands what is there. And if there is a doubt, or if there is any dilemma in implementing a step, they can go back and check what has gone wrong. So that is what an RACA matrix does. Then the third most important thing, I don't know how it is connected with simplicity, but this, according to me, is the most important factor, is that you need to have authority for accountability. In fact, there are places where people are not given authority because they are frontline staff. And if you don't give people authority to implement something they are supposed to do, then it becomes very, very complicated, because you are expecting them to deliver results for you by not providing them the authority. Yes, mistakes do happen, but repeating mistake is a crime. But you need to understand that when a mistake happens for the first time, you need to understand the reasons behind that mistake, and you need to come out with a solution. So the key for keeping things simple is providing people authority for what they are accountable to deliver. Darshan, I hope I have answered your question. I mean,
Yeah. So it's interesting, and so how do you continue to keep things simple? Have you learned some new things and techniques or methods? Because I mean, this is something that many people talk about often, is striving for simplicity. And I think one of the things is you have to learn to say no, instead of saying yes, yes, yes. Would you agree with that?
See, Darshan, I'm being a little hesitant here, because most of these responses may sound very motherhood, okay, like a motherhood statement. I would like to give you an example. In fact, when you know, say no. Like for example, we have this thing called career dossier. Okay, a career dossier is nothing but it captures the need gap analysis of a staff, I mean, a team member. What is that? What are the aspirations of a team member? What is the current position of the team member? Where the team member want to be after 3 years, after 6 years, and so on. So when you really give this chance to a team member to really put their aspiration. See, some of them who is not even the middle level management will put that within 3 years, I want to become the chief operating officer or chief marketing officer of the organization. So the point here is they haven't understood what are the steps that they should really climb to become that position. Okay, they think that it is a position, it comes with a lot of authority. In fact, it gives a good pay. So I would also like to know become that. So here, how to keep this simple is like interacting with them and telling them what are the key performance indicators when you get to that position. And are you equipped to really deliver those key performance indicators? Because some of the key performance indicators you would not have heard only. So if you want to really deliver that, what is that you are supposed to do? So then really driving them to understand that they have to get into that particular talent or that particular capability which will guide them or which will support them to deliver as a chief marketing officer or CXO, whatever it is, then this becomes. And so to really tell no is easy. Seriously, I'm telling you. I mean, when you are an odd taskmaster, it is always easy to say no. But then when you really back it up with real reasons why it was a no, and without even saying no, you make them understand, then they will, it is like a win-win for everyone. And that is one of the real reasons for simplicity. And you ask me how I am keeping myself, I've talked so much about simplicity, so how I am not always keeping myself abreast of it. I'll tell you, see, I take time, in fact. time is the factor here, because see, I don't know whether I'm getting into so much detailing, but when I walk into a store, when I see that the housekeeping is not good, that's why I said in the beginning that I'm a bit hesitant, because it will sound like very idealistic and all that, so please bear with me. But when I get into a store and if I see that housekeeping is not good, I'll call those housekeeping staff and I tell them why this housekeeping is not good, because I know they haven't changed the water, the mop is old, they haven't used the liquid. I'm sorry for being so detailed, but that is how you keep yourself simple. And why I really love retail is for the fact that in retail, you can spend a lot of time in the floor. You can spend time with the staff, you can spend time with the customers, and these are all consumers who come directly, end users. They will come and they will talk, and you have to be ready to face criticism, because see, most of the time we have this reluctance to speak to a customer because we are in coat suit and all that, but no, believe me, I have seen customers really criticizing me, and they have said that, I mean, what is that, you people are talking very big but your store doesn't even give basics. So you have to be ready to take those criticisms. So how I keep myself simple is I spend time. I don't really ignore even the smallest of details. Sometimes it's not really ideal to spend so much time, but I keep myself simple like that. It is my style. So many of you may not agree to it. I keep myself simple by really spending time.
So I'm curious, what are you seeing changes in the retail industry, especially in food, post COVID now? What trends and changes are you seeing that you think are going to be something that people really should take notice of, and it's going to make a big difference?
The easiest answer is the prominence of e-commerce or online. After COVID, I mean, online was always there, but after COVID, people are really spending a lot of time in having a separate online strategy, and that has become a priority. So that is one most important thing, according to me. But I would say that if you look at some of the challenges, one is this inadequate primary processing, or that the storage and distribution facilities in the food market, that has become a priority for so many people now, especially after COVID. People are really ensuring that insufficient connection between production and processing is taken care. Food safety, health benefits, and all that is being addressed at a very, very serious level. Innovations has become the real go-to word now. People want to innovate and give something new to the consumer, ensure that the customer is convenient and all that. But I always believe that brick and mortar is going to stay. Whatever happens, brick and mortar model is going to stay. Maybe e-commerce will definitely gather so much share, but still brick and mortar will stay. And this online marketing strategy is one of the most important priorities for people now after COVID. People want to reach as many customers as possible, and that last mile delivery has become much more important now.
I have no doubt that retail in person is going to stay, but I'm curious, how is it going to change? Do you think it's going to change and evolve, or do you think it's going to stay the same? I mean, I personally think there's going to be a role for in person versus a role for digital, and the two need to be synced together. And my question to you is, how are the two going to play off of each other, and what are you envisioning more people doing or wanting?
See, as I always said that this brick and mortar model is going to stay, no doubt about it. And like how you are having this online supply or online delivery, there is always this click and collect models are always there, and they are also gathering so much share. But the most important thing is what has changed, according to me, in retail in the past few years is that previously, when organized retail came into existence, it was always believed that you should not disturb a customer. In fact, you should leave the customer to go peacefully shop and take their items, then come their billing. Then the next development happened wherein you don't have checkouts, that is unmanned checkouts. Now we have unmanned checkouts. Customer do their billing and get out of the shop. But in the Indian context, let me tell this very clearly. In the Indian context, what has really changed now is a retail hypermarket or a supermarket or a retail place has really become like a marketplace. So you have personalized service. People are really promoting the products one-on-one in a retail market. So I think that has to change really. So you have to really get into a mode where customer has been given their choice to come and shop peacefully and should not get disturbed. And in Indian context also, people have to have this unmanned checkouts and all that. So it becomes much easier for customers, or maybe advance shopping. So you do the shopping, which is prevalent in so many countries. When I went to South Korea, I've seen this. So you do the advanced shopping, then you go and pick your products on the way home from office, because as you know, everywhere it is now nucleus families, and people are no more in joint families. Even in India, it is deteriorating every year. So it is easy for a working woman to pick the items or a working man to pick the items. But the most important thing, according to me, that retailers don't look at, that needs to change. Probably it is debatable, but this is my understanding, is that we are leaving out the single customer. In fact, there are a lot of single dads, single moms, divorcees across. And we always plan everything in a store, or even that, for that matter, e-commerce or digital marketing also, for family customers majorly. So you need to get into this single customer mode. What does a single mom want? What does a single dad want? So that is something retailers needs to evolve, and the market and the consumer needs evolve drastically. So now the consumer needs comfort. According to me, it's not about the price, it's not about everything. Consumer needs comfort majorly. So if the comfort and the convenience is there, definitely the consumer will come to your store.
I think you mentioned a couple of things, and I'm wondering if you would agree with the statement that, well, let me ask you this way. In India, for the Indian consumer, what percentage do you think are buying a product versus those buying an experience?
So, Indian context, 95% buys a product and only 5% buys an experience.
Interesting. Why is that the case in India? Is it price sensitivity? What is it? What's behind that?
See, it has to do with so many factors, majorly the socioeconomic factor in India. In fact, if you look at an Indian household, the kind of income that comes to an household and the kind of spending that happens. So based on that, I'm telling that it is, they don't go for an experience and buy it. While India has got the mix of the world's richest people and also people with poverty. But then it is basically the middle class buys items only when they are in need of it. Now, to some extent, not fully, to some extent, this has changed with the introduction or the rampant usage of mobile phones. Even honestly speaking, I don't know why I have iPhone Pro 14, seriously. So my daughter tells me that you have to buy the new model. My iPhone, the previous model was really good. I don't want to really replace it. But she said, no, you have to buy this iPhone 14 Pro. I don't know so many things that is in that iPhone 14 Pro. So it is like that. Sometimes, no, you are forced to buy the experience. But if I have my choice, I wouldn't have bought that. Okay, probably I am still that baby boomer segment. So the Gen Ys are completely thinking differently. But as I said, 95% buys products in India still, according to me, and 5% only. Maybe the generation change will happen. I don't know any data to really substantiate what I'm saying. But going forward, definitely this is going to change. But as of now, I'm very strongly believe that people buy the products. And I will tell you once again why they buy only the product, not the experience, is because the Indians are not very rich. Indians are not. I'm not criticizing the fact. I'm just not trying to share my opinion. India has to get into that mode where you need to buy experience. But as of now, it is only they wanted to see whether the product is useful for them, then only they will buy. Yes, when no the previous generation, in fact, if you look at the generations in India, the first generation wanted really to have the basic needs for their livelihood, so they bought that. The second generation was the one which thought that they need to have luxuries coming to their house, like TVs started, then color TVs, and so on. Then now the air conditions have become necessity, no more luxury in India. So I would not say that people are now buying the big TVs and air conditions as experience. It has become a necessity for them. So in India, still the outlook towards a product is based on its necessity and not as a luxury. So that is why Indians still buy the product and not the experience. Do you agree with me, Darshan? Do you agree with me?
I don't have the insight and the knowledge that you do for the Indian consumer, so I am going to rely on your expertise here.
No,
I think it's interesting.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. I don't have much of knowledge. These are all my views. I'm sure that these are all debatable views, and people can have a different view. And no, we can all debate on all this. Sorry.
Sure. No, that's fine. So I'm curious, what do you see on the horizon for retail now? And what area of retail is interesting you the most and you'd like to dig deeper into?
Retail has got tremendous opportunities. The challenges are plenty, but when you have a business that has got more challenges, then obviously there is a real opportunity galore that is waiting for you. And if you look at me, if you look at retail as a whole, in India and actually in the world. In fact, now the best thing about retail, I once again go back to this, that retail is a very simple business. It is a business that anyone can start. So that way, the retail market has to convert all this. Now I'm talking in the Indian context. If the Indian unorganized retail market can convert into organized retail, then definitely it is a different ball game. The kind of market share that is going to be brought to the organized retail sector will be tremendous, and that is the kind of horizon that Indian retail market has got. And now everything is available. You can get anything in retail, and the next best thing for retail is digital marketing. In fact, so retail has to become more digitalized. I will give you an example. The share of shelf ratio, or putting a shelf talker in a store. I think all this has to become digitalized. This is happening across the world. I think even in the Indian retail market, this should happen, so that you don't make that silly mistakes of displaying a wrong price for a product, or something like not increasing your wastages by keeping one particular non-moving product in a stock which is not moving, whereas the same item is moving in your other branch. So those kind of marketing strategies has to come in place for retail, and we need to have the technological development, like handheld scanners has to be given for each of these retail managers. By just scanning a product, they should get complete history of the product, right from when the product has hit the store, when it has reached the store, and how many pieces have been sold, why this product is non-moving, etc., etc. And the most important thing I'll tell you is, like, capturing the customer feedbacks in a much organized way and going back to the consumer and telling them that the actions taken on their feedbacks. It's not that every customer is going to ask for some justifiable things, but at the same time, you can go back to the customer and tell them also why some of the things that the customer suggested cannot be done. So that is one thing. So retail has to capture consumer feedbacks, and it has to become more consumer friendly or customer friendly rather than establishment friendly. When I say establishment friendly, most of the time the retailers, they copy what was working in another store into a locality. So that is a wrong way of doing it. As long as you understand a locality, you ensure that the things like local assortment or regional assortment or visual merchandising and catchment engagement or infrastructure reliability, those things are customized for a particular outlet, and you take actions based on the consumer feedbacks.
Interesting. So, my last question usually is this: if you could have lunch or dinner with anyone in the retail industry, who would it be and why?
Sam Walton for sure. It is just an hypothetical question, right? Or you want me to name somebody who is alive?
It can be either way. The more important thing is why. What is it you want to learn? What did you think that insight that you could gain from them?
Yeah. So with Sam Walton, I would like to understand his philosophy of selecting the location, because he has put most of his stores outside the real residential areas. To have a thinking like that and have the confidence that he can bring the customer to those areas, that is something very unique. And the second one is, he has become a pilot, in fact, to just go around his stores. He has got his own jet, and no, he didn't rely on anyone to take him off and get to those stores. So these are all, nowadays sometimes it is easy to think that entrepreneurs think like that. But those days, if Sam Walton, he didn't know pick a car, he picked a jet and he just went around his stores. So, be in the presence of such a personality and to know really try to capture something from him itself is an thought that makes me with goosebumps. So that's what I really don't have any structure to ask Mr. Sam Walton something, but to be in his presence itself will be definitely a blessing. Who would have thought that you have to have a jet and you have to become a pilot and go around?
So if it was somebody alive, who would it be?
Somebody alive, Mr. Kishore Biyani. In fact, Mr. Kishore Biyani is the founder of Future Group. He had this formats like Big Bazaar, Central. Central is a fashion store, and so many other businesses. According to me, I've seen Mr. Kishore Biyani personally, and he was the man behind all this Maha Savings Day and all that. He's a visionary. The things he told us way back in 2004, we have seen all that happen later. So to have a vision like that and to really believe that vision and do things, that was amazing. So he's another person. He's definitely live. If I get a chance, I'll definitely would like to have a dinner or lunch with him. He is a person, and he speaks very, very few words. A man of few words, and he doesn't talk much. So if I can make him talk more, and if I can get him engaged in a conversation, that's going to be a big thing for me. I'm sure that there are a lot of learnings that will come.
Interesting. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Sanjay. I appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing a conversation another time and learning more about retail in India. And please keep me posted on your aha moments as you proceed ahead in your career. And I understand you're going to be turning a new chapter here soon, so keep me posted on what the new chapter is going to be for you.
Darshan, once again, a very big thanks to you. in fact, to give me an opportunity and relive some of the moments. As I would like to reiterate again with a disclaimer that most of these views are my personal views, so it's not necessarily that everyone has to agree to these views. But then you gave me an opportunity to talk my mind and to really walk that path again and relive some of these great moments. In fact, the first interaction, probably the viewers would not get a chance to see our first interaction. The first interaction was even more casual, where I narrated you my aha moments and all that. So, Darshan, it was very, very kind of you to give me this opportunity. I really thank you and the team for giving me this chance. And definitely I'll be in touch. Thank you again. You're doing a great, fantastic job. I mean, you keep doing it because these podcasts definitely help the professionals to really get their own perspectives about things, and you give all of them a chance by seeing all this podcast. So thank you again, Darshan. Once again, thank you to all the viewers of AHA. Thank you to the team at the background who is not in the forefront, but you are in the background. Thank you, team, for organizing all this. So bye. See you. You all have a great day and a great year. Thank you so much.
Well, there's no doubt. I appreciate you thanking the team, because I have a very good team behind this. But, there's no need to do the disclaimer, but you did it. But to be honest with you, the reason I do this is because I really enjoy listening to the aha moments people have got. And whether someone agrees or disagrees, that's really not the point. I think we all learn from the experience, and more than anything, defining moments that people have had. And sometimes those defining moments may not be ones that we've experienced, or maybe we may not agree with the moment that defined out of it, right? But I think we all learn from them. And what's interesting is we all bring different paths in our lives. You bring a path that I could never replicate. I bring a path that you can never replicate. But I think at the end of the day, going back to what you talked about earlier, having conversations with your customers, having conversations with professionals, I think we always learn something from them. And especially when we talk about these defining moments that are aha. So again, I think most listeners know, these are opinions that we all share and have. And more than anything, we're trying to share our experience and knowledge, but also what we've gleaned from the aha moments that we all encounter as we go along the path in life. So I want to thank you. And I think everybody appreciates your ability to share aha moments. So thanks again, Sanjay.
Thank you, Darshan. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you. Bye.
Getting to AHA was brought to you by iResearch. To find out more about us, head to iResearch.com and make sure to search for Getting to AHA in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are found. And don't forget to click follow to ensure you don't miss any future episodes. Thank you for listening.